Hello, hello. My name is Dasha, and I will be your teacher today. I think we will have a lot of fun today because the topic is very interesting. So we have second conditional. When can we use it? What for? And what is the structure? So let's take a look at it. First of all, uh, let's imagine what would you have, or what do you wish you could have, but it's not possible? I think I would love to have a pet dragon. Or maybe I don't really like to ride a bike or bus to work, so maybe I would love to fly to work. But how can we say it in English? What can we use? Let's take a look at the structure. So, for that, we need if plus past simple and would plus infinitive. Because we remember that after would, we use infinitives. For example, would, I would go, I would do, etc. Let's take a look at the first example. So, if I had a chocolate fountain at home, well, it's a great thought. Yes, I would eat chocolate for breakfast every day. Let's take a look. We have if plus past simple form of have, and we have would eat, right? So this is our condition, and if that was true, we would have this result. Yes? As you can see, we have a comma here. But if we switch the sentences or halves of the sentences, it doesn't really matter. The result can be first, but then we don't put a comma after it. So we would just say, I would eat chocolate for breakfast every day if I had a chocolate fountain at home. Unfortunately, this is not true. I don't have a chocolate fountain at home. The next one. Let's practice together. Take a look at these four sentences. You can stop the video and thank yourself, then come back and we will check it together. Okay? I'll give you some time to pause the video. Okay? Now, I hope that you really took your time and tried to do it yourself, but let's check it together. First of all, I don't have $1 million, unfortunately. But if I had $1 million, I would travel around the world. That would be nice. If she spoke French, she would apply for a job in Paris. But unfortunately, she doesn't speak French, so she cannot do that, right? The next one. If we lived closer to the beach, we would go swimming every day. Can you keep up? Is everything correct right now? Let's move on to the next one, to the last one. If you studied harder, you would get better grades. But unfortunately, I guess you didn't, so you cannot get better grades. Now, let's take a look at this example. Well, if I were you, I would take the job offer in New York. Well, the structure is correct. We have if, past simple, right? We have the condition, and we have would take. But something is off. Can I really be you? Even if this is a hypothetical situation, we use this structure, if I were you, to give advice. For example, what would you do if you were in this person's shoes? Okay? For example, if I were you, I would talk to her and explain everything. Right? That's a very nice thing to do. If I were you, I would start saving money for the future. It's not about us, we just give advice to somebody. Yes? And I know you might be confused because with I, we use was, right? I was. But in this case, we use if I were you. Only with I. Okay? Good. Let's move on to the secret rule. I know I said at the beginning that we only use would in the result, but actually, if you are not very sure, or if you want to show that it would really be possible if the condition was true, you can use some other modal verbs like could and might. Remember that after them, after would, could, might, we use verb with infinitive form without to. We would say, I would go, I could go, and I might go. Right now, you can see the difference, right? So let's take a look at the difference in this second conditional. What changes? For example, if I had more free time, I would travel the world. We are 100% sure that would definitely happen. But if we are not sure, we can use might. If I had more free time, I might travel more. Okay? And we use could when we think it would be possible. If the condition was true, for example, if I had more free time, I really believe I could travel more. Yes, but unfortunately, I don't have free time. Yes. Okay, so let's take a look at some more examples. If I won the lottery, I might buy a house. There is a possibility. Well, maybe today I think it's true. Tomorrow I'll change my mind. I'm not completely sure. But if I think about it, if I really had the money, if I really won the lottery, I would definitely buy a house. So we can say I could, because we think that it would be possible if we had money. Okay? But maybe I will change my mind and choose something else. I would definitely choose my mind. Okay, so um, do you have any questions now? Let's quickly recap everything and let's revise the rules. So, first of all, the structure. We have if plus past simple plus would and plus base verb. So, example, if I had a flying car, I would fly to work. We have the condition with if and the result with would. Okay? Don't forget that you have a choice. You can use either would or might or could, depending on how sure you are. Okay? And if you want to be a good friend, if you want to give advice, you can use the structure with if I were you. If I were you, I would apologize before it's too late. Okay? Good. I hope that this lesson was useful for you. I hope that now you finally figured out the second conditional, and now I hope that you will be able to develop your imagination and dream big. Okay? Bye bye.